Hello and welcome to Newsroom series on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Of course, we'll be taking a look at the stories coming from the North Central region. We start off from the Federal High Court in Abuja, where Justice James Omotosho has convicted Nnamdi Kanu on offences relating to belonging to proscribed terror group, the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, and inciting his followers to violence. In the judgment, Justice James Omotosho found him guilty in relation to counts 1 to 7 being prosecuted by the Department of State Services. Now, Justice Omotosho held that the prosecution led credible evidence to establish that Nnamdi Kanu belonged to IPOB, which had been proscribed, and its affiliate, the Eastern Security Network. The judge also held that the prosecution proved that by his many broadcasts, he incited his followers to violence, which resulted in the killing of security personnel and destruction of property, including police stations across the country. Justice Omotosho classifies Nnamdi Kanu as an international terrorist. This is due to his intention to bomb the British High Commission and to kill the then British High Commissioner, Catriona Lang. Justice Omotosho held that Nnamdi Kanu extended his terrorism act to the United States of America when he ordered that the American embassy be brought down in a broadcast. The judgment comes after several years of standing trial on terrorism allegations. Nnamdi Kanu's trial has been one of Nigeria's most talked about legal battles in recent years. He was first arrested in 2015 and charged with treasonable felony and terrorism, but the case has since taken numerous turns. While out on bail following a military operation at his residence during the time of Operation Python Dance in the southeast. In June 2021, he was arrested in Kenya under contentious circumstances and brought back to Nigeria, a move his legal team and IPOB described as an extraordinary rendition. Upon his return, the charges were expanded to 15 counts, including terrorism and incitement to violence. Nnamdi Kanu's defense has repeatedly challenged the trial's legitimacy. They argue that fundamental legal and procedural errors, including possible violations of international extradition law and jurisdictional rules, undermine the prosecution's case.
Molotov's tall cocktail is capable of causing explosions, damage like any other bombs, which aim is to cause destructions. This directive, like other directive, is a manifestation of anarchy-minded of the defendant, which is set out to express through his Biafra radio, which he claimed to be the founder and director. The defendant, through the Radio Biafra platform, carried out so many terrorist attacks, which led to the destruction of lives and property in Nigeria. The defendant is not only confirmed to local terrorists, but I hold without hesitation that he is an international terrorist, flowing from his threats to attack British High Commission and the American Embassy, as well as his incitement against the British High Commissioner to Nigeria at the time, Catherine Lyons, a known woman of peace. In a broadcast of 21st October 2020, the defendant stated thus, and I quote, "Radio Biafra is now in the hand of the enemy of our freedom. I don't know how much they paid for it, but I know that Britain spent about 4.8 billion a few days ago to suppress what is happening. That is what they have done. I told you a while back that Britain was now in charge of what is happening in the zoo, and you thought that it was a joke. They have now come with their clampdown, but they are not going to succeed. Radio Biafra belongs to us, but why is it not playing our program right now?" Unquote. The defendant also stated, "I am telling you people to go to the bush Wherever you see a military convoy, you attack them. Whenever you see a police convoy, attack them. They are human beings, and they also bleed. Any person with a police uniform or any army uniform is your enemy.
More security matters, and this time terrorists have launched yet another attack in Kwara State, abducting 4 rice farmers in Kogi village in Edo local government area, barely 24 hours after gunmen invaded a church in Iruku in Ekiti local government area. Sources say that the latest incident occurred on Wednesday evening while the victims were working on their rice farms during the peak of the harvest season. According to a community source, the attackers arrived suddenly and surrounded the farmers as they were gathering their harvested rice. It has been confirmed that bandits struck again at Kogi under the Lafiaji Emirate. 4 people were abducted. Information is still emerging, according to the source. Now, residents said the gunmen operated for several minutes without resistance, forcing the farmers into the nearby bush before whisking them away toward an unknown destination. Community members say that rising insecurity in Edo local government area has left several farming settlements deserted as farmers fear attacks during the harvest period, a time when they are most vulnerable on the fields. The Kwara State Police Command has yet to issue an official statement as of the time of filing this report. Meanwhile, the Kwara State government has directed the closure of schools across 4 local government areas amid escalating insecurity in the affected communities. The government's decision was disclosed by the Nigeria Union of Teachers, Kwara State Wing, on Wednesday. In a circular on Wednesday that was issued and obtained by Channels Television, the NUT chairman, Yusuf Agbola, announced the shutdown of schools in Isin, Irekbodun, Ifelodun and Ekiti local government areas. Agbola explained that the union was acting strictly on instructions from the Ministry of Education and Human Capital Development after the government raised concerns over fresh security threats in Kwara South. Comrade Chairman, this is to inform you and through you all schools and the above local governments of the instruction to close down all schools with immediate effect until further notice, the circular read. Now, this decision was occasioned by the security challenges ravaging the area and the efforts of government to control the situation. Now, he also assured school heads and teachers that further directives would be communicated as the situation evolves. The Nigeria police has arrested a suspect for luring 4 persons for organ harvesting in Nasarawa State. The suspect is alleged to have promised each of the persons 2 million naira each. The State Commissioner of Police, Shetima Mohammed, disclosed this to journalists at a press conference in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital. The suspect is said to have arrived at the state capital from Delta State to carry out his plan.
The suspect took all the victims to a hospital for medical evaluation. One of the victims, having passed the initial screening, was moved to Abuja for the transplant, but the procedure could not hold due to the issue of related blood pressure. The victim was subsequently lodged in a hotel to stabilize his blood pressure. The victim was subsequently, operative of the command swiftly moved to Abuja and rescued the victim on hot. The suspect confessed to the crime and further stated that the agreed amount between him and his client was 6,500,000 naira, out of which he received an advance payment of 500,000 naira.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration, the FCTA, will from next week, Wednesday, November the 26th this year, commence enforcement actions on defaulters of ground rent payment and land use and change and conversion fee, as well as the right of occupancy and the certificate of occupancy bills. The FCT Minister's Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media, Larry Olayinka, made this known in a statement today. On May the 26th this year, following the intervention of President Bola Tinubu, the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike granted defaulters on ground rent 14 days grace to pay up their outstanding ground rent with associated penalties. Also, publications were made on Monday, September the 8th, Tuesday, September the 9th, and Wednesday, September the 10th this year in some national dailies and online platforms on the reviewed land use and purpose clause of property in the FCT, giving 30 days for the payment of penalty and violation fee of 5 million naira and other applicable fees for land use change and conversion. Another public notice was published in the national newspapers as well as online platforms and aired on television and radio stations, granting defaulters of the land use and purpose clause of properties in Asokoro, Maitama, Garki, and Wuse districts in the FCT, or the Federal Capital City, FCC, a final grace period of 14 days to comply with the terms and conditions of the approval for land use change and conversion. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on politicians in the country to put the interest of Nigeria over and above any personal interest to enable the country achieve the dreams of its founding fathers. Vice President Shettima made this known in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, while receiving members and supporters of opposition political parties who defected to the All Progressives Congress, the APC. Explained that President Bola Tinubu's leadership style and concern for the nation has encouraged Nigerians to join him in salvaging the numerous challenges facing the country.
Significant political movements are continuing across party lines ahead of the 2027 general elections. In Kogi State, a former governor, Idris Wada, and several others have defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress.
They are men of character. They are men that is ready to serve his people. And as such, we are welcoming you and we are behind you.
The party flag and broom are handed over to some of the leaders of the decampees as Captain Wada in his keynote address highlights reasons for the defection.
Mr. President made a very bold decision in removing fuel subsidy. Initially, we all felt all kinds of pains, but now fuel price is dropping almost every month. Fuel prices are coming down almost every month. The exchange rate, which the president unified, has stabilized our currency, and now the naira is appreciating on a regular basis in the foreign exchange market. These and many other infrastructure facilities all over the state, all over the country, give us testimony that the APC government means well for Nigeria and is leading Nigeria in the correct direction.
Vice President Kashim Shettima re-emphasizes the themes of unity and progress as the backbone for community development.
What is happening in Kogi today is not the collapse of one structure into another. It is not a victory of one ego over another. What we are witnessing is a margin of convictions. It is a recognition that Nigeria requires a broad coalition of patriots who are looking beyond all quarrels and embrace a collective future. The APC remains the home of all who seek progress. We must rise above bitterness and forge a new national spirit.
Some of those dumping their parties for the APC give their reasons why.
I am the secretary AGC, but today I'm decamping to APC because APC is one of the largest ruling party in the whole of Africa as a continent. And in West Africa is the leading party. And we must believe that Aswaju as our leader is the one that will pilot this affair. We are here because of Aswaju.
I know APC is a party of life. It's a party of wisdom. It's a party of millennium. It's a life of party of peace. We deliver, we will make the best for President Anudodo.
The defection of Captain Idris Wada and others to the APC marks a significant shift in the political landscape in the state, highlighting the evolving dynamics within the political scene and setting the stage for new alliances and strategies ahead.
An educational scholar and Vice-Chancellor of Salem University, Lokoja, Professor Alia is asking the federal government to take urgent and decisive action to help improve the state of public universities in Nigeria. Professor Akubo stated this while answering questions from journalists during the pre-convocation press conference of the institution. The Professor of Business Management, who also explained that without reform, public universities may face further decline, potentially becoming obsolete if urgent steps are not taken. He then urged the federal government, in particular, to work diligently to restore and enhance the quality and relevance of Nigerian public university education. According to him, the decline in infrastructure and the outflow of skilled professionals have impacted public universities, leading to a shift towards private institutions.
Public university education is gradually fizzling out in terms of relevance, and until the government of this nation decide to be decisive on what to do, we are getting to a situation where you'll wake up in the next couple of years and discover that public universities, which we are all beneficiaries of, would have sunk into oblivion. So I task the government to put eggheads together, and then federal government in particular, and begin to work assiduously around the clock towards rescuing the degenerate state of the Nigerian public university education.
In a bid to bridge the nation's widening skills gap and empower young Nigerians for self-reliance, the Federal Ministry of Education has flagged off a skills acquisition program under its Ideas TVET initiative. The training, in collaboration with the African Film Institute, targets 300 plateau youth in film and media production. Our correspondent, Percy Dabang, reports.
At the National Film Institute in Jos, hundreds of enthusiastic young people gather, all driven by one goal: to learn, create, and build a future through skills in film and media production.
Opportunity is to be grabbed.
The program is part of the Federal Ministry of Education's Ideas TVET initiative, designed to promote vocational training and entrepreneurship across Nigeria.
You people are the luckiest of all because everything has been brought to you. The federal government feels that young people should be taken out of the street because it is because of idleness that we have all this stealing, robbery, terrorism and all that. But if we take the youth out of the street and give them skills, we will be better off.
Thank you very much, sir.
Partnering with the African Film Institute, the initiative offers participants hands-on training in cinematography, editing, drone filmmaking, documentary production, and even artificial intelligence in content creation, preparing them for the fast-evolving global creative industry.
We want Nigerians to be so skillful that China, India, US, and the rest of the world will hear from us in terms of our skills, because we are very determined people, we are very charismatic people, we are dogged people, but then we have a skill gap.
For the participants, the training represents more than just an opportunity. It's a pathway to turn passion into a profession.
A little knowledge, but then I'm seeing a better way to do things, to avoid having it, let me say, repeating the same pattern and then getting the same results. So here I've seen a better way of getting a better result.
I'm going in for the marketing aspect of the production. Yes, sir. And I believe before the end of this program, I'm going to acquire that. We are all going to acquire these skills.
With the world's creative economy expanding, Nigeria's film industry, one of the largest in Africa, stands to gain from such targeted capacity building efforts. Percy Dabang, Channels Television News.
Ohanaeze Ndigbo has thrown its weight behind the re-election bid of Governor Hyacinth Alia as the group endorses his administration's transformational policies on security, trade and road infrastructure. The President General of Ohanes Ndigbo Benue State Chapter, Mr. Sunday Ofili, disclosed this during a meeting with Governor Hyacinth Alia, who is represented by the Group Managing Director of the Benue Investment Property Company, Mr. Raymond Asemaka. Now, the group lauds the governor's security strategy that has helped improve the ease of doing business and the establishment of new industries to help facilitate trade and drive commerce, a sector the group say has impacted positively in their businesses and distributors.
Road infrastructure in Kogi, the Benue state capital, has tremendously improved the construction of over 30 township roads, part of which has addressed flooding challenges. The Alia administration has also moved to reverse capital flights on consumables and other commodities with the establishment of a bread and citrus juice factory that processes 4 tons of oranges per hour and many other industries. These investments caught the interest of the Benue State chapter of the Igbo social cultural group, Ohanes Ndigbo, who invites the governor to their midst to honor him for various social interventions that are spurring economic growth. Governor Hyacinth Alia is represented at the event by the Group Managing Director of the Benue Investment Property Company, who receives the Ugumba 1 of Benue State for his transformational leadership on his behalf.
He's doing what no governor have. His record for these 2 years, no governor in Benue State have recorded it. So we are saying 6 years. We are endorsing him. 6 years. We are endorsing him because what is on ground now we are seeing, especially we that have come for business. You know, we are enjoying security. We are enjoying free movement, no more taxations. All these things is no longer there. So we are very happy with him. We have no second person.
All the Igbos have endorsed His Excellency for 2027. There is no vacancy in Gombe House. And it is only Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia that is our governor. We have seen what he have done. The Igbo man have seen. The Igbo man have seen there is security. The Igbo man have seen businesses are moving. The Igbo man have seen roads constructions. The Igbo man have seen houses being built. The Igbo man have seen a lot of things. Today there is no more double taxation, no more roadblocks, no more wastage.
Responding on behalf of the governor, the Group Managing Director of BIPC assures them that Governor Alia is committed to fulfilling his duties to all residents of Benue.
They have seen what His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, is doing. And they are happy because they are business people. When some of us were growing, my mother being an Igbo, she taught us to do business. And that is the business that we have come back to Benue State to do. And that is why they arranged this for us. It was never planned. In fact, when I was coming here, I was coming to just for a meeting. But we want to thank God for my people from my maternal home, the royal fathers, the chiefs, that the Ugumba of Benue State will not disappoint.
We, his maternal home people, have decided to crown him, to thank him for the one that he has been doing, so that by the special grace of God, maybe in 2, 3, 4 years coming, his position will be more bigger than this in Jesus' name. Amen. And we are praying for him. Whatever he's doing, may the good Lord be with him. And the enemies will not see him. You know, politics in Nigeria these days is so hard, but the good Lord will be with him, so that he will do more for his maternal home people.
The reforms led by the administration of Governor Hyacinth Alia has not only seen stable food prices, like bread reduced to 2,000 naira per load to 1,300 naira, and the bag of sachet water from 500 naira to 300 naira, saving families of scarce resources.
And Niger State is gearing up to host 19 other states in the 2025 National Division I Basketball League, scheduled to take place in Minna from the 22nd to the 29th of this month. Arrangements have been concluded by the Niger State Sports Commission for the successful hosting of the 2025 National Division 1 Basketball League, which will bring together teams from 19 states across the country. Now, this announcement was made at a media briefing held at the 123 Indoor Sports Hall of the Savannah Conference in Minna by the chairman of the commission, Abdullahi Masu. All participating teams have been duly registered under the Nigeria Basketball Federation, adding that the tournament aligns with Governor Umaru Bago's directive to reposition sports and promote excellence across all sporting sectors in the state. On his part, the technical team leader, Abdurrahman Mohammed, expressed satisfaction with the quality and readiness of the team, describing the players as youthful, experienced, and highly motivated. He attributed their preparedness to the investment made by the state government in sports development.
Our commission is committed for the growth and development of sports at all levels. Niger Porters Basketball Club have been a household name in Niger State and Africa at large. The club has a very good history of playing up to continental levels in the past. And one of the cardinal objectives of my office is to reorganize sports and bring back the lost glories of the state. For those of you that are aware of the history of Niger Porters once again and basketball in Nigeria, Niger Porters have produced international stars and continental champions in the past. But today, we have found ourselves in the second division of the league. And it is my duty and my subordinate in the office to ensure that we bring back Niger Porters to the first-class division.
In basketball, pressure is actually a privilege to us, and having watched this team practice the past few days, I think they will deliver. It's a combination of youthful players and then some few guys that are well experienced. Abubakar Usman and who is also going to play. He has retired actually. We asked him to come out of retirement and come and make sure this team goes back and to play at the elite level. There's also Abdul Yaya. He was also part of a national team, Nigerian national team at some couple of years back. We also brought him in just so he can, bring in experience. I think the state has invested a lot in this team so far, and I think the only way to reciprocate is to ensure that the trophy is being delivered. And from what I have seen, that's exactly what's going to happen. I assure you the trophy will be delivered.
And with that, we come to the end of Newsroom series with our focus on the North Central. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun.